Hey y'all. All right, y'all. How y'all doing? Okay, so important things. So some things I wanted to discuss more like I guess you can call it a PSA sort of thing. Because I want people to feel informed and not have the shock factor, right? Like if you go for consult or whatever. So we consults are booked out with us for 2024. That means we're booking consults in 2025. So let's say you're like, I want surgery this year. Um, that's still possible because we do have some surgery slots still this year because we're obviously seeing consults and things this year, right? Um, Now we have one November date, a few December dates, few October. So again, there's like some stuff this year. Now, if you really want surgery this year and you call us, like you won't be able to get into a consult this year unless you do what we call sort of like we have an advanced surgery scheduling system. And what that involves basically is you get with Victoria, and what happens is we'll and Cassidy will basically send your information like your medical history, make sure you're a good candidate. We'll figure out what we areas of concern are, and then what happens from there is basically we kind of get a surgery plan for you, and I'm involved in this process, right? Like I'm looking at photos and things like that. Like I'm usually between surgeries, I'm looking at photos and doing these things. But I just want to kind of announce this so like everybody be aware in case you're like planning and trying to plan things because we schedule off consults pretty far, but if you're thinking this year, it's still a possibility. Now, going back to that, how it works, then what happens from there is you'll get a quote, and then you can, if you're really serious and you're like, I really want surgery, you basically can put a deposit down, and then what happens is we retroactively will go and look at the schedule and see where we can squeeze in a consult. Like I do a lot of virtuals. Sometimes I'll do virtuals on surgery days, right? Because it is important for me to see you and do a virtual consult, like and not meet you on your pre-op day. But that's an option. So it's advanced surgery scheduling. If you missed all that, the gist of it is, if you want surgery this year, you can't get in for a consult unless you do this advanced. There's another system we have. So just call us, get in touch with us, and we'll let kind of guide you from there. But I just want to announce that for y'all, for your planning, planning and things like that. Um, I did want to share this because it helped me, and I think it may help somebody. So, as y'all know, I have a little one, just had a little one, and I have had, like, what I've been struggling with is finding, I'm going to be honest and transparent, finding time for God. Um, I'm not, obviously sleep is a little different. I'm up at 3 a.m., I'm doing this, and I'm like, when I'm used to, like, I wake up, I have my hour long thing, right? But I'm like, when? And then I saw, so when there's something about prayer and worship that fills my soul. And I was feeling like, honestly, kind of depleted because I wasn't getting that. And I heard this, sorry, y'all. And I heard this, I don't know, this inspiration come one day. It was like 3 a.m. and I was sitting up. I just finished breastfeeding. And I was like, it was like, bring me into this moment. Like I just felt that, right? And, I call those Holy Spirit sensations. And I was like, why don't I do that? So it was like, bring me into this moment. Yes, you are up breastfeeding. It's 3 a.m. What else are you doing? Why don't you go into praise and worship, sing, or pray, right? These little moments that you think are mundane, like when I'm scrubbing my hands at the sink before surgery, that's a moment, right? And so what I started doing is finding these moments, these seemingly like mundane moments, like maybe it's 3 a.m. and you're awake doing whatever you're doing, like maybe I'm breastfeeding or changing a diaper or I'm at the scrub sink first thing in the morning. I actually started inviting God into those moments, and I might say a prayer. I may sing a song in my head. Like sometimes now I wake up and I'm like I'm singing a song as I'm waking up, and suddenly I started feeling like my soul is feeling like I'm it's hard to describe, but I'm feeling more fulfilled. And then suddenly I started finding more as I started looking for those moments more. I started finding more of those moments, right? And then just as I'm trying to get back into a routine, right? If you know how it is when you have a new baby. On top of that, I'm running a practice, other children. I'm a surgeon, right? So how do you find the time? And God is saying, invite me into the seemingly mundane, everyday moments where you're doing all this other stuff, right? Like you can always find time, right? So I just want to share that. That's my little piece of advice today. All right, y'all. I'll catch y'all later.